Hey everyone, Jake here for American Muscle, and in this video we're taking a look at this 8-piece performance ignition coil set fitting 2008 to 2023 Hemi powered Challengers. Now, replacing your ignition coils can be an easy way to give your Hemi powered Challenger a little boost in power or the extra firepower it needs to run properly. Whether you're looking for a replacement for your tire factory coils or an upgrade to go along with other modifications, this kit will be a great match for your car for a price that will leave your wallet quite pleased. Just like a set of good spark plug wires in an older vehicle, coil packs in a newer vehicle can make a huge difference in how that engine runs. And since the Hemi uses a twin spark setup, you can almost argue that these are doubly important. And especially if you're planning on tuning or even adding boost later on down the line, a set of these will be just what you need to get your engine to run at its best. Now these coil packs are going to bring a hotter and stronger spark with more voltage than your OEM coils. Now that means that you're going to get more efficient and complete combustion versus the stock coils, so you may get increased power and torque and definitely some better throttle response. You might even see an increase in fuel economy even if your car is otherwise completely stock, because frankly it's just gonna run better. These are an essential part to pick up if you're planning to tune your Challenger as well, because changing your air-fuel ratio means that you're gonna need a stronger spark versus stock. So if you are planning on turning up the wick, get yourself a set of these in addition to some new spark plugs. Your engine will thank you because it'll run smoother, you'll have a more tunable, reliable setup. Construction here is basically the industry standard heat-resistant plastic on top, and the boot portion is made from a high-temperature epoxy for enhanced durability. Now these things can provide up to 15% more energy transfer versus stock, and they're cycle tested for 240 hours from -40 degrees Fahrenheit up to 260 degrees Fahrenheit, which means that they get quoted as having a life cycle of up to 1,000 hours of continuous runtime at 266 degrees Fahrenheit. All that means that these are going to be able to handle pretty much anything you can throw their way. Even if your engine happens to be a little warm, these are still going to be alright and give you the performance that you're after. Pricing is probably the biggest win here though, with the set of 8 as you see them here coming in at about $400, and that makes them one of the most affordable options in the category. It's still a good quality product, it's going to make a difference, but it's going to undercut even a full set of new OEM coils from Mopar. So you get more performance and more efficiency for an even lower price, and really you can't go wrong with that. Installation will come in at a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you about 1 hour to complete. Now like I mentioned a few moments ago, these are a pretty simple install. You've got 2 bolts right here on the top, 1 plug, and you're done. So this is pretty much a job you can just complete at home with some time, patience, and a few hand tools. And to show you that process now, let's head on out to the shop.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, a flathead screwdriver, a 10mm swivel socket, and an air blowgun. What's up guys? Today we're installing some ignition coils on our Challenger, so let's get started. So to get to our coil packs, we need to remove our engine cover. Now there's just a few posts with grommets holding this on. So we can just grab this and pull straight up to pop it off those grommets. So now all of our coil packs have 2 10mm bolts as well as a connector. We're just gonna repeat the same process for each and every one of these, 4 on this side, 4 on that side. So we're going to come to our connector first. We're going to push up on this red locking tab. And then you can take a flathead screwdriver. We're going to be pushing on the bottom of this center black tab to release that clip. And we can pop our connector off. Now once we have our connector off, we can remove our 2 bolts. I'm using a 10mm swivel socket to get into some of these tight areas. And then we can pull up on our coil pack to pull it out. You're just gonna have to maneuver around the dipstick on this side, but then once you have 1 out, you can repeat the process for the other 7. So now we're ready to install our new coil packs. Now what I like to do before I do these is to blow some compressed air into each of the spark plug wells. That way you can blow out any crap that's in there. Now if you don't have an air compressor to blow air in there, you can use a small vacuum attachment as well. So we'll just blow some air into each of these and then we can install our coil packs. And now with everything out of our spark plug tubes, we can slide our coil pack into place. Push them down onto your spark plugs. And then we can start to thread the bolts in. And then we can grab our 10mm swivel socket and tighten these bolts down. And then we can take our connector and plug that in. Press down until you hear that click, and then press your red locking tab down into place. And now repeat that same process for your other 7 coil packs, and we'll wrap this job up. And now once you have all your coil packs installed, we can reinstall our engine cover. We have these 2 grommets on each side that are gonna go onto these 4 posts. So we'll just line up our oil cap and our dipstick, and then press these down. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the 8-piece performance ignition coil set for your 2008 to 23 V8 Hemi Challenger. Thank you for watching, and for all things Challenger, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.